Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to do a deep dive into some seriously awesome superbikes.
Some pretty incredible
Yeah,
machines.
Ducati's latest and greatest, the Panigale V4, and then like a even more exclusive version, the Tricolore 2025.
Yeah, the Tricolore Special Edition.
We found this fantastic article online, and it really gets into the nitty-gritty of what makes these bikes special.
Absolutely.
So we're going to break it down,
Yeah.
look at how they compare to the competition, and, the big question,
The big question.
are these for, like mere mortals, or are these just for those like track day gods? You know what I mean?
Right, for the elite few who can handle it.
Exactly. So let's kick things off with the Panigale V4.
All right.
The article calls it the pinnacle of superbike engineering. And honestly, just looking at the specs, it's hard to disagree.
Oh yeah. This is a serious machine.
So let's talk about that engine because it's a beast.
It is it all starts with that heart-stopping engine, 11103 cc Desmo Sinichi Straddle V4.
It's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful. But it's a direct descendant of Ducati's MotoGP program.
Oh, wow.
So you're talking about 215.5 horsepower hurtling you down the road at speeds potentially exceeding 300 kilometers an hour.
That's insane.
It's incredible the kind of power they've packed into this thing.
But it's not just about raw power.
Oh,
No.
no, not at all.
They've also included a ton of tech.
A ton of rider-friendly tech. I mean, you're talking about traction control, slide control, wheelie control.
It's almost like they're trying to tame this beast a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's about that balance, right? They want to give you all that power, all that exhilarating performance,
Right.
but also give you a safety net.
Yeah.
I think it's a trend we're seeing across motorcycling these days. They're pushing the limits,
Uh-huh.
but they also want to keep riders safe.
Right, so you can actually enjoy that performance.
Exactly.
And we can't forget the other stuff, like the suspension.
Oh, yeah, the suspension is top-notch on this
We
thing.
were talking fully adjustable, Shove BPF fork, and Sachs shock absorber.
It's all top-of-the-line stuff.
And then the brakes.
Oh, and the Brembo Stylema monoblock calipers. I mean,
These are serious brakes.
serious stopping power, incredible feel,
I can't even imagine the control you'd have with this setup.
It's like a scalpel instead of a sledgehammer.
It really is.
Yeah.
And of course, we can't talk about a Ducati without talking about how it looks.
No, of course not.
I mean, that signature Ducati read the aggressive line.
And it's a statement even before you start the engine.
Totally. But how does it compare to the competition? We're talking bikes like the Kawasaki Ninja ZX-10RR, the BMW S1000RR.
Right, some stiff competition.
Yeah, these are no slouches.
No, they're not messing around.
So the article has this comparison table, which is really cool, and it shows that the V4 is actually lighter than both of those rivals.
Interesting.
But it's also more expensive.
There's always a trade-off.
Right. So is it worth it?
That's the big question, isn't it? I mean, for some people, that blend of power handling technology, yeah, absolutely worth every penny.
Yeah.
But for others, if you're looking for something a little more budget-friendly, maybe not so much.
Yeah, there are other great bikes out there.
Plenty of options.
Okay, so let's switch gears and talk about the Panigale Tricolore 2025.
All right.
Now we're getting into like a whole other realm of exclusivity.
Oh, yeah. This is like special edition territory, limited edition masterpiece.
It looks the part, too.
Oh, it definitely does. This article talks about a red, white, and green livery inspired by the Italian flag.
You're going to turn heads everywhere you go with this bike.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. It's a celebration of Italian heritage and design.
It's more than just looks, though.
Oh, definitely.
So the Tricolore actually shares the same base engine as the V4,
Mm-hmm.
but Ducati somehow managed to squeeze out even more power.
Yeah, they bumped it up to a mind-blowing 220 horsepower.
And get this top speed of over 305 kilometers an hour.
It's just incredible what they're doing with motorcycle technology these days.
It really is, but there are some key upgrades that really set the Tricolore apart.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So first up, you've got carbon fiber winglets for added downforce.
Okay, so for those who don't know what that means, think of it like little spoilers on a race car,
Okay.
generating downward pressure as you speed up.
Interesting.
So it increases stability, especially at those high speeds.
Right.
And it helps with cornering performance as well.
It's like race car tech for a motorcycle.
Exactly. They're borrowing from the racing world to get every ounce of performance out of this machine.
That's so cool. And then there's the upgraded suspension.
Oh, yeah, the suspension is incredible on the Tricolore.
They've got a state-of-the-art Erlin's electronically controlled suspension system.
Yeah, NPX 2530 fork
Yeah.
and TTX 36 shock absorber.
Okay, so what does that mean for like the average rider?
Oh. Well, Erlin's is known for building some of the most sophisticated suspension systems in the world.
Right.
And this electronic control means it can adapt to different road conditions and riding styles in real time.
So it's constantly adjusting.
Yeah, making it smoother, more comfortable, and incredibly precise to handle.
And then we've got the brakes now.
Oh yeah, we can't forget about those,
They've got the Grumbo Stylema R monoblock calipers.
which offer even more stopping power than the standard V4.
So it's like having a parachute for your bike.
You need that kind of braking power when you're dealing with this level of performance.
For sure. So how does the Tricolore stack up against its rivals in this
Yeah.
super high performance category? We're talking about bikes like the Kawasaki Ninja H2, the BMW M1000 RR.
Yeah, those are the big dogs.
So again, the article has that handy comparison table, and the Tricolore is actually lighter than both of them.
Wow.
But again, it also has the highest price tag.
Not surprising.
So Ducati is definitely going for the ultimate title here.
Oh yeah, in terms of performance and exclusivity, this bike makes a statement.
It does. But now let's take a step back and look at some of the common questions people might have.
Okay, sounds good.
The article has a FAQ section, which is really helpful.
Yeah, FAQs are always good.
So first question, are these bikes beginner friendly?
I think we can both agree the answer is no.
Yeah, these are high performance machines. You need a certain level of skill and understanding to handle them safely.
For sure, I wouldn't recommend them for someone just starting out.
Okay, next question. We've touched on it, but it's worth repeating price points. What are we looking at here?
Okay, so the Panigale V4 has a starting price of $24,495.
Okay.
The Tricolore 2025 comes in at a hefty $37,000.
Wow.
So yeah, these are not impulse buys.
Definitely not.
It's a serious investment.
So what are the key features that set them apart from the competition? We've talked about the engine, the tech, the design. Anything else stand out?
The article highlights the advanced rider aids as a major differentiating factor.
Hi.
Things like traction control, slide control, wheelie control, cornering ABS, all designed to keep you safe and in control even when you're pushing the bike to its limits.
So it's almost like a safety net for experienced riders.
In a way, yeah.
So it's fascinating how Ducati is pushing the boundaries of performance, but also incorporating all this tech to make these bikes more manageable.
Yeah, it really is a remarkable feat of engineering.
It is, but it raises an interesting question.
Oh, what's that?
Are these bikes becoming so advanced,
Yeah.
so technologically sophisticated, that they're almost too capable for the average rider?
That is a good question, and one we should definitely explore further.
That's a really interesting point. Are these bikes getting so advanced with all this tech that it's almost,
Taking the fun out of it.
well, yeah, like where's the line between, pushing your own skills and having the bike do all the work?
Right, right. It's a valid question, and I think it speaks to a broader debate within the motorcycle community.
Okay.
On the one hand, these advancements in rider aids, all this traction control and cornering ABS and all that,
Yeah.
it definitely makes these high-performance machines more accessible to a wider range of riders.
It's like having a safety net, right?
Yeah.
You can push the bike a little harder knowing that if you mess up,
Exactly.
the bike's going to help you out.
Exactly. You've got that electronic guardian angel watching over you.
Right. But on the other hand, some people argue that these systems can also kind of take away from the raw, visceral experience of riding.
I can see that. I mean, some people, they want to feel that connection to the machine,
Yeah, like that feeling of being on the edge of control.
Right, mastering the beast through pure skill.
So it's almost like a philosophical question, right?
Yeah.
What is the essence of motorcycling?
Yeah, is it about man versus machine, or is it about embracing technology to enhance the experience?
I think there's room for both perspectives.
Oh, absolutely.
It comes down to personal preference.
Right. Some riders want that challenge of riding a bike that demands absolute precision,
Yeah.
while others want that peace of mind knowing that those systems are there to back them up.
And it's not just Ducati doing this right.
No, not at all. I mean, we're seeing this kind of tech across the board.
From entry-level bikes.
Yeah, all the way up to these top-tier superbikes.
So it seems like it's becoming a standard feature.
Yeah, almost like ABS in cars. It's just
Wow.
there. I think it's a good thing overall, making riding safer and more accessible.
Yeah, if more people can enjoy motorcycling,
Exactly.
that's great. But at the same time, there's still something to be said for that pure, unadulterated riding experience.
Oh, yeah. There will always be a place for bikes that are raw and untamed that demand the rider be fully engaged.
Right? That's why bikes like these, the Panigale V4 and the Tricolore, are still so appealing.
They're not just about the tech, They're about that whole package, the power, the handling, the design, the heritage.
But let's talk about the elephant in the room for a minute.
The price tag.
Yes, the cost of owning one of these beauties.
Let's be real, these are not cheap bikes.
We mentioned the prices earlier. $24,495 for the V4 and a whopping $37,000 for the Tricolore.
So that's just the beginning, right?
Right.
You've got insurance, maintenance gear, all that stuff adds up quickly.
Especially for high-performance bikes like these.
Oh, yeah. You got to be prepared to shell out some serious cash.
It's definitely a lifestyle choice.
It is. It's a commitment.
Not just a vote of transportation.
You're buying into a whole experience.
Right, and it's about passion, you know?
It is. It's about the pursuit of that exceptional riding experience.
And for the people who are willing to make that commitment.
The rewards can be incredible.
It's about the feeling of freedom, the adrenaline rush.
The sense of accomplishment.
Yeah, all the things that make motorcycling so special.
It's hard to put into words.
But, you know, beyond just the practical considerations, I think there's an emotional component to owning a bike like a Ducati.
Oh, absolutely.
It's more than just the machine itself.
It's about what it represents.
Yeah, there's a certain pride that comes with owning a Ducati.
For sure. I mean, it's a brand with history, a legacy of racing success.
And they make some of the most beautiful bikes in the world.
Yeah, they really are works of art.
It's like you're joining a club, you know?
Right, a community of like-minded individuals.
Who share that passion.
That appreciation for the art and science of motorcycling.
Yeah, it's about the stories you create, the adventures you have.
The memories you make.
So owning a Ducati, it's not just about transportation.
No, it's about expressing your individuality.
Connecting with a legacy.
Yeah, and experiencing the world in a way that few others can.
Okay, so we've talked about the performance, the tech, the cost, the emotional connection.
It's a lot to unpack.
It is. But it's clear that these bikes are more than just machines.
They're symbols of passion innovation, the pursuit of excellence.
But it's important to remember that these two models,
Right.
they're just a small part of what Ducati has to offer.
Oh, yeah, they have a whole range of motorcycles, each with its own unique character and appeal.
So they have cruisers.
Yeah.
They have adventure bikes.
Naked sport bikes?
Yeah, they have something for everyone.
Exactly. So while the Panigale V4 and the Tricolore might be the pinnacle of their performance lineup, they're not necessarily the right choice for everyone.
So if someone's interested in exploring the world of Ducati,
Yeah.
where should they start?
I would say do your research. You know,
Okay.
I think about your riding style, your budget, your needs. Talk to other Ducati owners, visit a dealership,
Yeah.
read reviews, immerse yourself in the world of Ducati, and figure out what speaks to you.
You know, we've talked a lot about these bikes, but who are they actually for?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Are they only for, like, experienced racers, or can a regular rider handle all that power and tech?
Right. I think that's something a lot of people are wondering.
Yeah.
I mean, these are not exactly beginner bikes,
Right.
the Panigale V4 and the Tricolore.
Right.
But I wouldn't say you have to be like a professional racer to ride them.
So who's the ideal rider then?
Well, I think it comes down to a few things, you know,
Right.
riding experience, skill level, and personal riding style.
Okay, let's break those down.
Sure.
First, riding experience.
Yeah, you definitely need to have some decent saddle time before even thinking about these bikes.
Okay, so like how much experience are we talking?
I'd say at least a few years under your belt, some experience with sport bikes and, you know, being comfortable at higher speeds and aggressive cornering.
So not a brand new rider, but you don't need to be a track star.
Exactly.
Okay, what about skill level?
Skill level kind of goes hand in hand with experience, of course.
Right.
But it's also about those finer points, you know?
Okay.
Your throttle control, how smooth you are on the brakes, your body positioning in turns,
Yeah.
and that almost sixth sense of being able to read the road and anticipate what's coming.
So being confident and really understanding how a motorcycle behaves at its limits.
Precisely.
Okay. And you mentioned personal riding style too. Wait, what did you mean by that?
Well, some riders just love that raw, untamed feel of a pure sport bike. You know, they might even see all the rider aids as getting in the way.
Right.
But others really appreciate having that safety net, you know, knowing that the bike can help them out if things get a little hairy.
I get that it's kind of like some people prefer driving a stick shift
Exactly.
for that feeling of total control,
Right.
while others are perfectly happy to let an automatic transmission do the work.
Yeah, great analogy.
Both get you there, but the experience is different.
Right, and there's no right or wrong answer.
It's about finding the bike that matches your personality.
Exactly.
So for someone who's really thinking about a Panigale V4 or a Tricolore,
Yeah.
what's your advice?
Be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
You know, about your skills, your experience, and what you actually want out of a motorcycle. Because these bikes are amazing, but they're not for everyone.
And if you're on the fence, how do you figure out if it's the right move?
Talk to people who ride these bikes. See if you can get a test ride. Do your research. There's tons of info out there, reviews, forum discussions,
Right.
just to get a better feel for what these machines are really like to live with.
Great advice. And most importantly, don't let anyone pressure you into a bike that you're not 100% comfortable with.
Exactly. This is a big decision,
It is.
both for your wallet and your safety. So take your time, do your homework, and you'll end up with a bike that you'll love riding for years to come.
I think that's a perfect way to wrap things up. We've spent this deep dive exploring these incredible machines, the Ducati Panigale V4 and the Tricolore 2025.
Yeah, they're really pushing the boundaries of what's possible in the world of superbikes.
They really are a testament to Italian engineering design and that passion for performance that Ducati is known for.
For sure.
And for anyone out there dreaming of owning one of these bikes someday, we hope this has given you some insight into what makes them so special
Yeah,
and what it takes to truly appreciate them.
right. And remember, whether you're on a Ducati or any other bike,
Yeah,
the most important thing is to ride safe, ride smart, and enjoy the journey.
well said. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll be back soon with another exciting exploration of the world of motorcycles.
Looking forward to it.
Until then, ride safe.